No, not no.
Okay, we are live. Sorry for that transmission failure that happened just when we came out the first time. Well, my name is Femi, and thank you very much for everyone that's watching us today. And what a very okay. I think it's happening again. Okay, so thank you everybody. So today, okay, I think I found a solution to that problem, right? Okay, so it's
Yeah.
such a beautiful day today here in Ontario, Canada, and I'm just talking to somebody that's across.
Nova Scotia.
I mean, across many provinces, from me in Nova Scotia, Nova Scotia. So here today we're talking with regards to respect to Chisom. Chisom was with me for the first time I think about two weeks ago, and this is the second time we are together. Chisom just newly joined the business a couple of months back, and then he's been eager to share his growth, like not necessarily growth as in like maybe making kulele or maybe growth as in escapades, but you know, growth as with regards to personal development. Because one thing, a lot of people think that success is only within the results that you get vis-a-vis kulele or how many houses you build and all that. All those things will come, we go reach all those things, but those things don't come without your personal development, who you become along the way. And that's one of the things that Chisom is willing to share with us today. But before we start sharing that, I'll give Chisom just a few seconds there to introduce himself. So Chisom, over to you.
Okay, thanks, Femi, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, all our viewers all over the world. And people that have been tuning in, we're going live, and I know many people will just come in after we might have gone live. My name is still Chisom Okereke. Like Femi have said, I'm a new digital business owner. I just started my business. And I'm calling in here from Nova Scotia in Canada. Thank you very much, and welcome to this presentation.
All right, thank you for giving me the opportunity to have you on set, Chisom. So today, like I said earlier on during the introduction, that we'll be talking a little bit more about Chisom and his experience so far in the business with regards to his personal development. But before, so that we can understand better, what has happened, how much he has grown, in terms of personal development. Let me ask Chisom to tell us about who Chisom was before this business.
Okay, thanks for me again. Thanks for me for that question. Before joining this online digital business, the business entails that you need to be visible on the social media. I'm this kind of person that's an introvert. I don't like showing my face on social media, all that. So that fear of, how will I do it? How can I do this business? Since I'm not that kind of person that will always show his face on social media. So that was a fear of the biggest fear I had, how can I do this? How can I do this business? Is it possible for me to actually do it? But I can tell you, I'm really improving seriously. And you can see that, me coming live here to do this live.
But don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun here, because I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. But I mean, and I totally understand what you said, being introverted. There are quite a lot of us like that never showed our faces. I was not even on social media at all prior to this business. And I had the same challenge as you do have. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people that can relate to that. There are some people that I've spoken to that are willing to start their businesses, but then they will ask, is it the one that you guys come up every time to talk about this business on social media? And I say, yes. But I can't do that. I say, oh, Bobs, I understand because I was once there. But you see, that there's so many things in life that, tend to keep us in comfort zone. And we don't really experience growth within our comfort zone. And the question I asked the guy was, if your office requested that you did something on social media as part of your new job description, only you could tell whether you go fit do them or you no go do them. because that may become a condition for employment. So when it's your own business, something that can actually change the whole game for you, for your life and your family, and prepare you for future, then it becomes of a necessity that people do that. So like I mean like so like I totally get it that many people watching us may relate, but you see, like I said, growth is not always comfortable. Growth is it comes with a lot of discomfort because you have to step out of what you are used to. You have to step out of what you are perfect at doing to be able to get to the next stage. It doesn't matter whether it's business, whether it's even your job, the one you're doing. If you have to get promoted to the next level, you must be able to step out of the one that you're doing before. You must get to that point where the level that you are at becomes inconvenient for you. Otherwise, growth may be difficult.
Yeah.
You see, so like we discover that most people want to change, but then the thing is that many are not willing to become someone different in order for them to create that change. But like it is imperative that you must be different, not different in a bad way, different in terms of growth, but personal development before you actually become that person that you sorry before you actually begin to see that change in your life, in your business, and whatever thing that you do. So having said that, let me ask you, what have you learned about yourself? I know you were talking about yourself now coming on life. So what have you learned about yourself now that is different from what you were doing before?
Thanks again, Femi, for that wonderful question. Basically, since I started this digital online business, I can see myself now, being bold enough to show my face, which is what I wasn't doing before. I see myself, coming out at least to speak about the business, which is not easy for most people, but it's something anybody can do. Once you tell yourself that once you are determined that is something you want to do, I think you will do it. But that initial fear of cannot do it. But once you are determined, that you want to do something, I think you can do it. So basically, so far so good. In the business, I've seen myself being determined now that I've taken this business as my own. It's something I can do. So I'm showing my face every day now. Once to talk about the business, because this is a wonderful business. It's not something I can hide to myself alone. So I need to spread the good news.
Yeah, you see, like somebody said once, right, that visibility is the new currency. It says that if you have all the wisdom in the world and people don't know you or they don't see you, like you may not be celebrated, or you may not really, or the person that is a nuisance but is visible may actually outperform the person that has so much sense but is not visible. So it's time for people to begin to see showing yourself on social media as visibility that is necessary in order for people to be able to see you and see what you have to offer. How can you help them? What you or whatever it is that you have, that can actually change their lives and in turn change your life as well. Because like people have to see you, they have to see how genuine you are, they have to see what it is that you are offering in order for them to be able to prefer to accept or to join whatever it is that your mission is. You see, like when I look back, I realized that while I thought I was trying to build a business, which I actually was doing, I realized that the business was actually building me as well.
Yeah.
That's what I found out because it has taught me so many things like patience. It has taught me how to be consistent. It has taught me leadership. There are certain things that I thought I knew before, but I realized that I'm getting better at them now. Even though it took me a while to get to the place where you are right now, because you are just a few months old and you're already doing go lives. I couldn't even come near the camera at this stage. So kudos to you and congratulations. And that's one thing that's very important for people to do because you have a goal. Your goal is to change your life. Your goal is to be able to have that time flexibility. Your goal is to be able to make that extra income, but you can't make it just by hiding. You know, you can only make it by showing out, by showing people who you are, because that's when people will actually notice you and they recognize what you are for offering before they can actually patronize you. So that is something that is very wonderful, and I can tell from the last meeting that we have, even just one go live that we had, this second one, I could see how the improvement has been in you, in your confidence. I visit your page and I see that you're doing something different on your page now, so I could see, just like you said, right? I could see that, that consistency, showing up is something that you are taking seriously and all that. And this is one of the things that, we find ourselves doing, those things that we weren't doing before. And that's what this business does for us. And I think generally in life, it's not just about, of course, why we expect to grow. Growth doesn't come in business, in our businesses. The increase in our finances doesn't show up. The sales that we make, which doesn't show up except we have become, except we have grown. Like I said earlier on, that while I thought I was growing my business, I eventually realized how much I have grown. And I'm almost 60, by the way. I started this business in my early 50s, right? But you see, like there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that's is very, very important. And I'm so glad to God for all of this, because by the time you begin to see that personal growth in yourself, you know that the growth in the business is on the way. You know, so well, we are running out of time now, and I'm going to be stopping this. But one thing I just want to say, one thought I want to leave our viewers with, thank you first of all for joining us, for those that are joining live and those that have been watching later. And thank you also, Chisom, for making yourself available. There's something I want to leave you with, and the thought is that, you see, like most people are waiting until they feel ready. But you see, the truth is that growth doesn't happen before you start. You do not experience growth because, before you start. That growth, and that's why it's growth, because you must be able to measure before and after. There is, like there is, if you can't measure, then there can't be any growth. You can't be able to recognize growth, right? So where are you coming from? Where are you at any stage, in your process? That's the only way you can measure growth. And so growth doesn't come before you start. It comes only after you have started. So you don't have to have gotten to the level you think that you should get to before you start. Growth happens just because you start. So the person you want to become in life is often waiting on the other side, like I always say, of the decision that you have been postponing. So don't postpone. Don't postpone. There's several other things that I will have wanted to talk about here, but maybe I will do a video with regards to that. So don't postpone. Just come the way you are. You know, experience that growth as you, because the challenges you face, in that process is what brings about the growth. How you solve those challenges, those are the things that bring out the growth. You know, so it doesn't matter whether it's learning a new skill, whether it's in business. Just start. Don't you ever underestimate the power of one step. All that this is just one step to start, and then you see. You begin to see the results. So, if today's conversation resonated with you, and you are curious about how people are changing their lives through this digital business, or making changes in their life, and you want to explore new possibilities, you could just reach out to myself or reach out to Chisom, even though it's new. But you'd be surprised that there's some things I may have learned, you know, just as we're talking about right now. And we'll be able to share with you uh, the info session that we watched that gave us an overview of the business. And then you see that's the starting point always, so that you can see for by yourself whether or not the business is a good fit for you. So this is where we stop this, and then please let us know if you have any comments If you have any, whether there is anything that if you have any question, you can leave it, in the section, like in our engagement section, in the comment section, and then we'll try as much as possible to answer all those questions, and then we'll get back to you sometime soon. You have a great day. Thank you, and hope to see you some other time. Cheers, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.